All right, everyone, let's hop on into this makeup look. You guys know I always start out my makeup by cleansing and lots of skincare. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I discontinued my skincare line, so I actually use a ton of new products in my kit, and I am personally loving the Bobbi Brown face base products. I am currently using the face base eye cream and also the regular face base moisturizer as well. I still have a little bit of the Gen Damager Beauty Skin moisturizer left in my kit, so I will absolutely be swapping that out probably for the Elemis one, which you can find on my Amazon storefront in the link in the description. So Elisa got the last little bit of Gen Damager Beauty Skin Perfecting Moisturizer along with all the Bobbi Brown face base products. I also started using the Too Faced Hangover primer for the makeup, and I have to say I'm actually obsessed with it. The way that foundation goes over top of it honestly shocks the hell out of me because I wasn't expecting it to be that good. But since it's a moisturizing primer, I'm just obsessed with how beautiful the makeup sits on top of it, and it seems to really be holding on a ton of makeup for my clients for a long period of time. So we are absolutely loving that. Also new in my kit is the Kryolan Digital Complexion Foundation and Concealer Palette. So on my TikTok, I actually shared this. I shared it on my Instagram as well. It is a full range of shades from the lightest light to the darkest dark, and I usually use RCMA. I've been using RCMA concealer foundation palettes for forever now, but they didn't have them in stock where I typically purchase them online. So I had to opt for the Kryolan, and I have to say, it went onto Elisa's face beautifully. It's really thick to start out with, but once you start heating it up on your client's skin, honestly, it just starts to blend out really beautifully. It has great coverage, and it seems to be a little bit buildable coverage, which is also an amazing quality about it too. So I just went over that with my Faceatelier foundation, and it turned out honestly so beautiful. I am really happy that I added that to my professional kit. Also, just a note about the Kryolan, or honestly any foundation or concealer, it will absolutely oxidize. As soon as you start to apply it to your client's skin and it starts to heat up and just kind of mix with the oxygen in the air, it can get lighter, it can get darker, it can get more orange, it can get more yellow. So it looks a little bit more yellow on Elisa's skin, but it actually oxidizes down and starts to get a little bit darker to match that more red tone in her neck. So just keep that in mind whenever you're applying foundation, whether you're a professional or if it's just a personal thing. Whenever you choose your foundation shade, you will always have some kind of like oxidation happening, and the colors can absolutely start to change a little bit. After pressing that all in to her skin, I just set her under eyes and also her eyelids to start prepping them for eyeshadow. She also has her eyebrows microbladed, which means that the skin of the brow, where your brow hairs usually grow, can actually be really smooth, and you can sort of cover them up with your foundation or powder. So I actually set that in order to add a little bit of brow color to bring back the color in her microbladed brows. So just kind of keep that in mind as well if someone has microbladed brows. So for Elisa, I use the Cella pomade on her eyebrows. I personally love this pomade so much. It's super creamy, it's really water resistant, and it just kind of glides on really easily, especially if you have a microbladed brow. It's just honestly really easy to use and really easy to add that tint back into your brows after you've either covered them or if you haven't gotten your touch up in a while. It's just a really great product to have to really fill those brows back in. Sometimes microbladed brows can come off a little bit blocky, so when you actually add color back into them, they can come off quite dark. So I just like to go back in with whatever brush that I use to help set the eyelids and the under eyes, and just kind of tap the inner corner of the brow just to lighten it up and give a more ombre look. Also, I love to clean up with the Cella dual-ended brush. It just kind of gives a really nice clean line. And after I was done with that, I went in with the Manifest palette from Cella. I personally love this this palette for medium to dark skin tones. I started out with the shade Intention, which is the one matte shade in this palette, and I actually just started to blend it into her crease more, and then whatever I had left over on the brush, I just pulled it over and filled in the rest of her lid with it. This is going to start just giving her a really contoured look to a more hooded eye. Also keep in mind that these eyeshadows don't have to be applied with a brush. They actually can be applied with your fingers as well. They're infused with vitamin E and different kind of like skincare products that will actually help to hydrate your eyes all day long. And personally, I love that because it makes them extra creamy and really easy to apply and blend. Next up, going in with the shade Purpose, which is the cooler dark brown shade. I just started to blend that into the outer portion of her eyelid and into that Intention color. I really just love this shade for a good smoky look too, which is just, ugh, we love a good sultry smoky eye around here. Next, I went in with the shade Radiant, which is a beautiful copper warm shimmer tone. I did that in the center portion of her eye to help kind of make it pop a little bit. Make sure you're always bringing your shades together by blending them into one another. You don't want any sharp lines and making it look like there's different sections. So I always make sure that I'm actually sweeping eyeshadow into each shade and making sure that it's just nice and seamlessly blended. Last but not least, going in with the shade Charisma, I use this as the inner corner pop of color highlight, and then I pull that up onto her brow bone as well and highlight it under her brows. You can also use this shade Charisma as a cheek highlighter or a highlighter down your T-zone, under your brows, on your eyelids, Cupid's bow, whatever it is. I love using these shades as like a multi-purpose. It kind of makes the investment into products a lot better. Next, tightlining at Elisa's lash line. I just used the LA Girl retractable eyeliner, which I have to say is one of the best eyeliners and super affordable. It's available at Ulta for $5.29, I believe, and I always stock up on them whenever I go there because I love them so much. So yeah, and I just smudged that out with a My Kit Co brush, of course, and this is going to give the illusion that she has a little bit more of like a fluffier lash. However, we are going to do some mascara and also curl her lashes, and of course the mascara that I'm going in with is the Good Drama mascara from Cella. I gifted this one to her, so I am using the actual applicator. However, if you are a pro and watching this, please make sure that you're using disposables. And whenever you're putting on mascara, start at the roots and then wiggle and roll out to the tips of your lashes to really build on product. You can layer on as much as you'd like. And don't forget that this mascara is vegan, which is very hard to find. So we love a good mascara that has skincare, is vegan, and helps to nourish our lashes. Last but not least, I love curling my clients' lashes with the heated eyelash curler from Cella. This is the original one. As you can see, you can definitely tell that they lift and curl as much as possible. This is really great for people with short lashes like Elisa because when you're crimping with like a typical eyelash curler, it can actually bend and break your lashes and weaken them at the roots. This just uses a really light heat to help lift and curl the lashes outward to appear more voluminous and just honestly longer and curled. Last but not least, I'm going to be going in with the MAC Studio Fix powder to set Elisa's face and give her just a little bit extra coverage. Also, I'm going to add a little bit of bronzer. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Matte Bronzer. I use it on literally everyone and I absolutely love it. These bronzers have a little bit more of like a red tone in them. So for medium to dark skin tones, I like to use this bronzer just because it won't turn gray. There's not too many cool tones in it. So it will actually blend out really well and not gray out and look kind of like muddled on the skin. Last but not least, we are going to add a little bit of blush to Elisa. For my medium to dark skin tones, I'd like to use more of like a peachy orangey undertone with maybe a little bit more of like a vibrant pink, just to give a little bit of a feminine glow, and adding a little bit of highlighter as well. I use the Fenty highlighters and also the Face Architect highlighters from Charlotte Tilbury. And just to give a little bit of a natural look to her lips, I added the Rosebud Salve from Smith's, and I love that she has a freckle on her upper lip, so I only added a little bit of lip balm, and this is the final look. It honestly turned out so beautiful. It's so natural, something that she could wear every single day. And if you have a medium to dark skin tone and have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. All links will be in the description. Make sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and thanks so much for watching, everyone. Bye.